One of the most interesting things I thought about your character is that we never quite know where she stands, as opposed to the other characters. It's pretty clear, but we never quite know if you're conning Richie, if you're conning Irv,
Yeah.
if you even are quite sure.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how you went about playing a character like that, but still made her feel very, empathetic.
Well, I think she has a great vulnerability that we can all identify with, this not liking herself, She wanted to be anybody else other than who she was. She needed to reinvent herself, and in doing that, she left herself open to her flaws, really. And I agree with you. I don't think that she knows sometimes who she's lying to. Is she lying to Richie? Is she lying to Irving? Or is she lying to herself? And she sometimes can't even figure it out. And in going through it, I think there are moments where she thinks she really does like Richie, and then she's like, wait, I'm conning him. Am I starting to believe this? There was a line in one of David's voiceover options where it talked about, like, he's the guy I could never get. He's the popular guy. He's the football player. He's the this. And I think part of her is like, maybe I could be with the good guy. Maybe I could be with the hero. Then she realizes he's a doofus. No, I'm kidding. Go back to the con man with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what you said about reinventing herself, because one of my
Yeah.
favorite revelations is that she's the only one who's not from New York.
No, she's not.
She's from Arizona, I believe.
Yeah, Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that factored into how you played her as being from, an outsider among all these really deeply New York people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think her reinvention started before the movie starts. She started reinventing herself by moving to New York and sort of posing as a sophisticate working at Cosmo and thinking she was at the height of fashion and, modeling herself. And I think she never really truly believed until she met Irving that she really could be what she was modeling herself to be. And that he saw her and he saw the potential in her was the thing she fell in love with, is the way he looked at her.
That Duke Ellington connection. I imagine that went into her reinvention of herself as well. Did you, although we don't learn too much about that in the movie, is there anything that you thought that Duke Ellington really contributed to her in helping her find her way?
Yeah, we actually talked about it a lot. That was kind of an important scene. David added that sort of right before shooting. And he was saying how they both were kind of throwbacks and felt like they didn't belong in the modern world that they were living in, and kind of that there was an elegance and a classiness that they both believed in. And her world had been just raw and desperate. And there's something about Duke Ellington that was like deliberate, and slow, and he lets it play out, and he's bold, and they say, like, who starts a song like that,
Right.
Because it's like, it's hot, and it speaks to your soul. So I think that music does speak to your soul, so that
Absolutely.
resonated with me. So.